Hey, I'm Ron Drotos from KeyboardImprov.com, and welcome to day 30 of our 31-day Rock Piano for Beginners Workout Challenge. And yeah, going for fluency. We have learned the A blues scale, we have learned the D blues scale, we have learned the E blues scale, and they all have a similar shape on the keyboard. They're easy to figure out and remember, and importantly of all, we've become fluent in using them. And got a little taste of some other things. Don't worry if some of the hand independence things you didn't get yet. Like I said, I'm doing this spiraling thing, so it's easy. We touch on something a little harder, then we come back to easy, and then we touch on something again. And really, that's how real life works. You try things, and okay, but the thing is not to get frustrated. This isn't like step by step the whole way. This is jumping in and having fun and using what we can at any moment. I almost hesitated to do those hand independence things and everything because I didn't want anybody to feel like, oh no, I'm not getting it, right? Because it's just a taste of it. And you can always just do one hand or the other because that's what this is. It's jamming, it's real life situation, and it's the best start. Then you take lessons or you do what you do to sort of fill in the gaps and go further in directions, but you still jam on what you know. That's the most important thing. I think we've got that by now, right? This is the healthy way to learn piano. Piano should not be 20 years of never feeling like you're quite good enough. That's not healthy. It's not emotionally healthy. It's not satisfying. It's not fun. And I often joke that sometimes pianists, if you can play something well, you're like, oh, it must not be hard enough if I can play it, right? Because I'm so used to never playing anything well. So this is great. We're getting this. We're getting this. So today, you join a blues band. You join a blues band. And I'm going to set this for 20 minutes. And basically, people spend their whole lives on these three chords, and it is so satisfying. And what you do is you get more into the grooves, you get more into the interplay. If you put on a video of someone like Paul McCartney, and he's playing old time rock and roll. There's a few videos, where he's playing some old songs. One's at the Cavern Club with David Gilmour on guitar from Pink Floyd, and they're starting a tune. He counts it off 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like. Whatever the chords are, he's just grooving. He's not saying, oh no, these are the two chords I have played for millions of years. No, because it's in the moment. It's fun. It's using stuff you know. That's the point. All right, so you're in a blues band, and you walk in, and you say, hey, I don't really know any blues songs, but let's go on. But I know how to play the blues in A, D, and E, and I basically know what a minor blues is, and I've played a little bit of that. So okay, so the singer says, okay, well let's do this tune by the Doors. It's called Roadhouse Blues. And you're like, okay, is it a 12-bar blues? And they say, no, you know what? It's got a blues feel and the same chords pretty much, but it's not even as hard as a 12-bar blues. All it is, it's an A chord for a long time with this kind of swingy rhythm. Dun, dun, dun. Stay on an A chord forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And then on cue, we go to a D chord. That's it. And you're like, okay, great. Well, there's a bass player, drummer with a beat. I can play some things down here, or I can just hold notes, and I'm just going to play the chords. You could play sevenths if you want, dominant sevenths, or you could just play the triads. And here we go. And there's a singer, and all you're going to do is play the chord, groove. If you want, you can play some bass notes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even think it's a seventh. I think it's just the triad. Groove along. basically Roadhouse Blues. Sometimes they do kind of go to a D as a passing chord, but that's incidental. You learn those details as you go along, but we just starting getting jamming. That's basically the song. The interesting thing about Roadhouse Blues is that the Doors took this simple form, this basic form of 12 measures, 3 chords, and they made it simpler. I think it was an attempt, or more than an attempt, a successful attempt to get back at the feeling of the blues. So we're not even just going through maybe even possibly going through the motions of all the 12 bars, but we're just getting into this groove on basically 1 chord, and then for some contrast, they go to the 4 chord later on. It's like this Roadhouse, like this, yeah, this raw kind of feel. And if you listen to the recording, they're not showing off. They're not playing. It's literally just these little riffs and just getting into the groove. It's good enough for them, definitely good enough for us, right? It's a classic song. There you go. So then, next song. So the guitarist says, you know what? I kind of like that. Let's stay on 1 chord in the key of D. Then he said, yeah, actually, let's not just stay on 1 chord. Let's go, this is how people think, right? Change your mind. Let's go through the blues, but let's get into a nice mellow mood. Instead of that raucous mood, we're going to go through the key of D. So it's a D blues scale, and it's the chords D, G, and A. And we'll follow the 12-bar blues that we know. But let's just go into like a straight, like a real groove, a little chill out kind of groove, like. Let's just get into the chords. 1, 2, here we go. D. Now G, the 4 chord. Back to D. Now A. G. Again. Just enjoying this. Keep playing that. Take a solo. swing back and forth, 4 measures. I'll go and see how simple we can keep it. I forgot about the training 4s. I was getting into the groove. I'll do 4 right now. Now your turn. Your turn. Yeah. You know what occurred to me right at the end? Because it sounded so good to just play simply, right? Maybe the goal isn't what we think it is. Maybe we think that we need to play more complex. But maybe the goal is to play simply better. Isn't that interesting? To really be, when a member of Bob Dylan's band is taking a solo, an organ solo, or a guitar solo, they're not trying to play more complex because I don't think Dylan likes that. I think he probably wouldn't hire those kind of players. Eddie Van Halen isn't in Bob Dylan's band, or someone like Van Halen, right? I love Van Halen too, but basically Dylan is looking for that music that can bring out the heart of the song, right? And that sometimes is very simple, right? All right, excellent. Hey, there we go. So now the blues band turns to you and says, hey, what do you want to play? You're like, I just started really loving slow blues, and I also love minor blues. What if we play a slow minor blues? And the sax player says, oh, yeah, I play those all the time. They're great, so you're going to love this. So we'll stay in D. So it's D minor, G minor, G, B flat, D, and then A minor. Those are the 1, 4, 5. D blues scale. D, F, G, A flat, A, C, D. Here we go. We'll go for that old time sort of triplet. Remember that? Triple, triple, triple. Here we go. 1. Let's just play the chords in quarter notes in the left hand. 1, 2, triple. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Now G minor. Right? Just luxuriate in this slow tempo. Relax. Chill out. 2, 3, 4. So play major. 2, 3. All I'm going to add some rhythms like a drummer would, but you just play that again. So I'm imitating the rest of the band. If you want to add some of these rhythms in the right hand, you can. There you go. Take a solo, D blues scale. Keep going, this is great. Both solo at the same time. Keep going. Goes back to the real roots of the blues. There's some great jazzy minor blues out there too. And some songs that are similar to a minor blues, like St. James Infirmary, also called St. James Infirmary Blues. Great stuff. Thrill Is Gone, B.B. King would be similar to this too, a little faster. Hey, so this is great. So that was our first time with a blues band, right? And that's basically what it's like to play in a blues band. It doesn't get any harder than that. It just gets deeper. You get deeper into it. And you get better at playing the simple stuff too. That's the big thing, I think. That's bigger than maybe apparent at first. So again, this is day 30 out of our 31. So there's a lot of energy to going through one of these workout challenges. And part of the energy is coming from somewhere else. It's coming from me. It's coming from that video. I'm getting the energy from making these for you and from your comments and everything. We need other people, other musicians. So moving forward, don't make this the end. Make this the beginning of the rest of your life doing something like this. So what could you do? You could find another musician or two or three or even one who is at the similar level than you, a bass player who is just learning how to play the blues, and you get together and you jam. And you tell them, I'm learning too, and you learn together. Don't try to sit in at a club with professionals at a jam session, like an organized jam session, the first time you do it, unless you go there a few times first and you get really comfortable with the place. But don't put that pressure on yourself to be great in an unfamiliar situation. It could be terrifying. Then again, some of them are very welcoming, and if you go there and you hang out a few times and they know you're a beginner, it might be something that you can do. But it's, in my opinion, far better at the same time or instead of to find another musician or two at your level, a singer who's into classic rock songs, and you just play simple accompaniments like we've been doing and just sort of go from there. And that they're just thrilled to have someone play piano or keyboards with them. You meet once every 2 weeks or every week for an hour. You do that. That's what you do. It's like this 70% doing, and then you learn at the same time. What else could you do? You could take lessons. If you have a private teacher in your neighborhood, you could do that. A lot of great teachers out there. There's nothing like one-on-one contact with somebody. You could take lessons with me on Skype if you're interested. I love even beginners. People think sometimes I only like the advanced professionals, but I actually get more out of teaching a lot of beginners because you're really interested, and it's when your passion's really exploding. I'm like, oh, I'm getting this, and that gets me excited too. You could do my video course. I keep it very low cost. There's step-by-step lessons. You could do my rock and blues basics. There's like 45 in there, and then I have blues series. I have blues. I wrote an etude in every a 12-bar blues in every key, with every blues scale, all 12, and each one's a different style, so it really keeps you interested. You can do things like that. Whatever it is, find a way to make this the beginning, not the end. So there you go. That's what I've always done, and I hope you can do it too for yourself, really. Thanks for being here. There's some other links you can click if you're interested, and congratulations. This is really thrilling. See you tomorrow.